So today I'm here with my good friend Bashiru Oyakhilome. Um, he's a great thinker. He has a big heart, and he's in the big brother land. That's the biggest for Nigeria. And we have actually met in person before. He's a man of ambition. He has big dreams, and he's done a lot to shape the lives of many. So today we want to go through his mind, his journey, the inspirations that we can take out of him, the wisdom, and everything that he would want us to know. So my name is Robert. Welcome today. So Bash, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Obeg.
That's right. So I would want to, you know, ask you to talk about yourself to us. I mean, brief of who you are and what you stand for.
Once again, I want to say thank you and thank you for giving me this opportunity to be with you live. I hope that moment will inspire somebody who will listen and, of course, encourage us to also believe more in ourselves.
Yes, sir.
And believe in our continent and continue to do our own part. So it was good seeing you last year in Ghana, and
yes,
our interaction and all of that. It's also inspired me to go back and think more and continue to do what I'm doing. And thank you so much for connecting with us online and sending your books to us. Your books to us in to our organization, Dream Again, Prison and Youth Foundation. I will talk about it as we go on. The books are in our libraries in prison, as you know. We set up libraries in prison. So you have impacted us all the way from Ghana, even before we met, by sending your books to us. So thank you, and we are grateful.
Thank you.
And I think that's what life is all about. The ability to deliberately want to touch people's life.
Okay.
Yes, and for me, I start my talk from there. So I'm from the southwest part of Nigeria, and I often say that I truly grew up through my teenage into my youthful years confused. I was confused without knowing that I was confused. I was aimless, directionless, visionless, and I was just living life thinking I was somebody important and special. But to be honest, looking back, I feel so connected to people who probably currently are in my state then. Because you can imagine a young man of 18, 19, 20 without an aim, without a purpose, without a direction in his life. He's just going to school, maybe finish, probably look for a job and settle down, like we always say in Nigeria. So I grew up, I'm the fifth child in my family. And, I didn't start school early. So I look sociable to people, but deep within me, I was suffering from inferiority complex.
Okay.
It's an irony. Yeah, because physically you can look at me then and think, oh, this guy is sociable, because I had a great skill of playing football.
Okay.
At age of 9, 10, I've already formed a football team. I was the coach. But even with that, I still had inferiority complex. Can you imagine that sometimes I would stand before the mirror trying to change my nose because I was not comfortable with me?
Wow.
Yeah. And I remember that I struggled to even learn how to speak good English. I'm trying now because my wife, when we started cutting, she has to deliberately teach me how to speak English.
Okay.
One particular time in school, I was in high school, and my friends mocked me because I couldn't speak good English. I will never forget. So coupled with my inferiority complex, my not so good academically, I all throughout that my teenage year did not know what life was all about. As a matter of fact, I don't think I even know what purpose was all about.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. I can't remember having any discussion around purpose, vision, and all of that. So my life was just going and going and going aimlessly, and I went to school when I wrote my WAEC, like we call it in Africa, West African WAEC. Funny enough, I had only one credit out of 9 courses. Yeah, I had only because I actually jumped from JSS3, junior secondary school, to SS1 because my friends were going to science, so I joined them in science. And actually, there was no science in me. Nothing science in me.
Okay.
So I just followed my friends because they were in science class. So I joined science class. So I struggled all through. And in
You
my
didn't like
first
the
YF,
science?
yeah.
Okay.
In my first YF, I got only one credit.
Okay.
And yeah, so I couldn't gain admission with that kind of poor result. So I have to write WAEC another time, this time around as an art student. So I was able to make about 5 credits that is needed for secondary school graduate to get into university or polytechnic. So, but even before I wrote that exam, I've gotten a diploma. I've gotten a diploma admission in one of the university to study psychology. So I had a little background in psychology.
Okay.
I remember I lost my father in between. I was doing college and I got to school, and
wow,
in between
that was
at 2-3 months, my sponsor died.
Wow.
Peace. Yeah.
We lost you. We lost you.
So life was.
We lost you the last part.
Yeah. Can you?
Yes, we can hear you, but we lost you the last part. Sorry, the network is my friend Bashiru Oyakhilome is an entrepreneur. He's a social entrepreneur. He's doing a lot of great works in Nigeria. His organization is focused on helping people who have gone through the prison, who have gone through, who are in jail, and he has a program where he's able to give them a better life afterwards. So sorry, we lost you. So you come back. Thank you. So the network is worrying us, but we'll be fine. So
okay. So
yes,
about admission in order to my university, but I didn't go back to university this time around. I have to get in.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll manage. So yeah, I finally graduated in 2011, where I studied business administration from one of the polytechnics in Nigeria, in northern part of Nigeria, Duguso Polytechnic size. So even after my graduation, I did not know direction my life will go to. So,
okay. But Bash, hello.
I used to think school I was fellowship president, but then I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. Wow. Okay. So don't worry about the network. Not much, but we will try as much as we can to bring him back and to get it. Maybe luckily we will have it run well. And so he's an entrepreneur. He has a huge program running in Nigeria with the prison service. He's had a lot of people come back. Okay, so please continue. Yes.
Okay, so after graduation, I did not know I was going to do what I'm doing today, but in 2001, to be precise, my life took a dramatic choice, and I was so grateful that in 2001 I was exposed to the world of books. So books helped in shaping me. Books helped in building my self-confidence. My inferiority complex, remember I talked about that, did not disappear overnight. But gradually, through the books I was reading, I began to gain confidence. I began to learn how to communicate and talk to people. I used to be very, very selfish. When I'm with people, I always think, what can I take? What can I get? But through this, my new journey as a believer in Christ, and with the exposure I've gotten through books, I started thinking about what can I give back to my society. And I remember Zig Ziglar very well. One of his books, "See You at the Top." The quote that I remember with me almost 15 years now was that Zig Ziglar said, "You can have enough of what you want in life when you assist enough other people have what they want." So this quote became like a national anthem to me. So I started seeking for opportunities to serve. I started seeking for opportunity to give. And gradually I continued to grow. My self-confidence begin to, grow in the positive direction. So I conceived this idea in 2002, 2003, that I was going to set up a library in my community in Kaduna State, northern part of Nigeria. And the reason why I wanted to set up this library is because I have been transformed by books. So I thought it would be good to set up a library for other people to have access to books. But guess what? That dream never came to pass.
Wow.
That dream never came to pass until 9 years afterward. 9 years afterward, because I didn't have the capacity, I didn't have the skill on how to go about setting up that library I wanted to. But 9 years down the line, under the scheme of National Youth Service Corps, that's the NYSC, we call it in Nigeria, that every graduate from Polytechnic, College of Education, and University need to go to another state to serve. My dream of 9 years came back to life. So for the first time, I've never
originally been... So originally you were born in which state?
I was born in Kaduna State. Kaduna State, that's northern part of Nigeria.
All right. Okay. And you speak which languages? Which language in Nigeria do you
speak? My parents are from Edo State.
Okay.
So that's southwest part of our country. So I speak partly my parents' language, and I speak Hausa fluently.
Okay.
Which is the northern language.
So your parents' language is which language?
It's all Edo. Edo.
Okay, Edo. All right. Okay.
Yeah, we're from
so what is the capital?
West.
So Edo State, which one is the capital? The capital of Edo
Benin
State?
City. Benin City. Mhm. Hello, how is it going? Can you hear me? The network is really, really not encouraging. I guess the network is from my side, or can I go ahead? I don't know if you're hearing me.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I was asking, um, the capital you said is Benin City. I was asking
yeah,
of
Benin City.
the population in Benin City.
In Edo State, you are talking about 5 million people or thereabout. So Benin
Okay.
City, which is that probably will have more than probably 2 million people or thereabout.
Okay. All right. And you said you speak Hausa as well.
I speak Hausa fluently. Probably that's the
All right.
best I speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Okay. So you were talking of the journey. You have talked about yourself, and so you were talking about the journey. Please continue. You were talking about the journey where you went to after the polytechnic education, where you went to another
Mhm,
state to do your service.
mhm.
Yes. Go ahead.
So I was posted to Benue State. It's a middle belt part of Nigeria.
Okay.
It's also another state with about 4 million people. Basically, the people in Benue State, they are civil servants,
Mm.
and they are called food basket of the nation because
Okay.
they have vast arable land. So
Mm.
uh, a lot of people are engaged in agriculture in the state. So I was posted to that state, but I was not happy because I wanted to go to a better state like Abuja, where I would get better
Okay.
opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, but the second day in my orientation camp, which was supposed to last for 3 days, I decided to stay back in Benue, even though my friend was trying to help me to get back to Abuja.
Mm.
Uh, so people believe that there are no opportunities in Benue. So, and that is why I also wanted to run away from Benue because I thought there are no opportunity. But can you imagine a state with about 4 million people not to have opportunity?
Yes, that's what I was about to ask you, but you said that they are the basket. They produce a
So
lot
it's
of
a
food
mindset.
there.
It's a mindset
Mm-hmm.
and a narrative that, of course, we have to deliberately change. And
Okay.
so I stayed back in Benue, and guess what? It's happened to be one of the best decisions I've made in my life, staying
Okay.
back in Benue,
Mm.
because as a core member under the National Youth Service Corps, I was able to execute, like now, my
Mm.
community development project
Yes.
in the prison there in Otuko.
Mm.
Uh, and it was successful through the help of people who believe in the idea and supported me. I can't name all the names, but to be honest, when from the conception of the idea, and why not? Why prison, for instance? So I
Mm-hmm.
have never been to prison before,
Okay. All right.
but remember I talked about my journey when I was suffering from inferiority complex without
Yeah.
direction and
When you
purpose.
were talking of that, I think
Mhm,
that it's generally with all of us as Africans that the career development probably is not that as we want it, and so all of
mhm.
us will grow up not being so sure of what we really want to become. So
That's
uh,
true.
and eventually that's why most of us will think that we have to just go to the big cities or probably travel
Mhm.
outside the continent because that is not something that has been really placed in us to be confident in ourselves and also even to be confident in our locality, in our country, in our region. So I think it's widespread, So, but you are saying that it happened to
So
be
I
a good.
actually suffer from that, and for me, I didn't get that.
No, you said that it turned out to be a good
I didn't get
decision
you.
for you. It turned out to be a good decision for you to
Yeah,
stay
it
in
turned out to
Benue.
be a good. Mhm. But I now I can say it was a good decision. But back then I never knew that something good, we actually come out of my staying in Benue. It was supposed to be a 1 year National Youth Service experience, but this is almost 8 years now. I have a home in Benue. I have I am back, like I said before, but I was trapped in the prison of my mind. I was suffering from inferiority complex. I couldn't express myself. It was that bad, you know. But through books, I was able to regain my confidence, find my path, and that is how I walked into the prison for the first time as a core member. And I'm so grateful to the officer then, Mr. Wundu, who gave me the opportunity to start that project. And like I said, the project was successful in 2012 because people believe and supported me from within Benue and outside of Benue. So many people, I can't name names, but I believe that every dream, every idea, actually the word is that no man is a self-made man. We all need people in our journey in life. Some will stay with us forever, some will not be with us forever, but we all need people. So the idea of setting up a library in prison was successful because people believed and supported me. And while I was doing that, I made good connection in terms of relationship. And one of the relationship I had then, even up to today, helped me to gain scholarship because of the project I did in prison. I gained a scholarship to travel out of Nigeria, India. I went to India for 7-month course to study social entrepreneur. So I never knew the word social entrepreneur before, even though I was passionate social change maker, but I didn't know if there is any word called social entrepreneur before.
Okay.
Yeah. So my journey to India to study for 7 months exposed me to what social entrepreneur is all about and what a social entrepreneur stand for. And after 7 months, I came back to Nigeria. And funny enough, Obeg, when I came back, when I was about leaving India, I said to myself, after all this training, I'm going back to Nigeria to look for a job and forget about this passion.
Why?
Because it's also a mindset.
Okay.
It's also a mindset, and I'm grateful I escaped from that prison.
So what did you learn in the course? You stayed in India for 7 months. What did you learn?
Yes.
What did you put in you?
Basically, it's actually like a hub where social change makers come in from different parts of the world. We were from about 8 different countries, about 20 of us. So from project management to how to pitch, public speaking, proposal writing, how to work with a team, how to be ethical in your dealing as a social entrepreneur, how to fundraise, all of these things were taught us and more. And to be honest with you, the school was established by a blind lady from a German blind lady called Sabrina. Yeah, she's a German. She's a German lady, but she's based in India with her boyfriend Paul Kronenberg. They co-founded the institute called Kantari.
Okay.
Where they bring in social entrepreneurs
So
from
which
around
part
the
of India?
world to be. It's
great.
in Trivandrum, that's Trivandrum, Kerala, southern part of India.
Okay. So the major city there is what?
That's the capital, is Trivandrum.
Okay, but I know of Mumbai.
The state is Kerala. Okay, yeah, okay. The major city in India, of course, is Delhi, Mumbai. You know,
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
So, but Kerala is also popular because it's one of the big states in India with a population of more than 30 million people. You know.
Yeah. You know, when the first time I saw you, I saw the precision of your presentation. When you were pitching, when you were talking to Mr. Masiwa, I watched that when he was doing when he was talking to, he was moving from Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, and I saw you and the way you pick the mic, how you made the presentation, and he actually, was very much impressed. You talked about your presentation. The words you use, maybe you would have to use those words again so that you said that you
my name is Adamu Bashiru. I help prisoners to escape from prison.
That's right. You see, you said something like that, and everybody
and everybody was laughing and laughing. And Dr. Strife Masiwa said, "Do you do that?" I said, "Yes, I do, but not the physical escape, but the mental escape." And he was, wow.
Wow.
And this is the product of preparation. I never knew I was going to pitch that day. I never knew. I only went to a meeting, and I went to the meeting with my wife. She was sitting down close by me, and we went there almost late. And opportunity was given, which I took advantage of because I have prepared myself over time.
Yeah.
So it was not luck. When some people say he was lucky, I wasn't lucky. I worked hard. And I prepared myself. It was hard work. It was hard work and preparation.
All right.
And actually what I call sweat equity. Did you know that I've checked that pitch with Strife Masiwa? It lasted for 1 minute 58 seconds. 1 minute 58 seconds. But it was not. Yes, it was actually not 1 minute 58 seconds. It was about 6 years experience of working in a sub-rural community. The pain, the discouragement, the success story, the failure, put together into a pitch that Strife Masiwa was so amazed and fascinated about, that he has to connect with and make great commitments to us. And that opened a door for me,
Yes, I heard the commitment he made right on my phone. I think I was watching it. Wow. So it's opened a lot of doors for you. And before we come to the doors that you have had out of that, tell us about your organization. Why did you start that organization? What have you achieved? Where is it now, and where you are going with this organization? The name and everything.
To be honest, I never knew I was going to start a non-profit. I never knew. Even when I did the project in prison, I set up the first library. I never knew I was going to set up a non-profit in future. But there is a guy who is worthy to be mentioned, Mr. Emmanuel Evans Ipe. When he saw me for the first time and he heard about my idea, he said, "Wow, this can actually become an NGO." I didn't give it a second thought. So it was my travel to Kantari, the scholarship I got in Kantari to go to India, that transformed the idea that I have from just a project into an organization. So as you can see today, the name Dream Again was given birth to by me in India.
Okay.
So before I went to India, I was calling my project before I went to India, Youth Ambassador Foundation. Okay. Because I thought these guys from should come out and become good ambassadors when they come out of prison. So, but during the course of my study in Kantari, there's what we call the transformation of concepts.
Okay.
And then you are supposed to look at the problem you're solving, your story, how it connects to the problem, and give a name that connects to the future you want to see.
Okay, so the problem you are solving.
So I was struggling in between changing the youth. Yes. as it connect, I was struggling. I did not know. So many names came to mind, but I remember one day in my room, I was lying on the bed thinking through the whole process, and then the name "Dream Again" flashed to my mind, and for
Wow.
me, it was an aha moment.
Wow.
So, like a woman would give birth to a baby, I actually gave birth to Dream Again from within me,
Wow.
and
Wow.
you know that almost everybody I meet, you don't need to like my face. Sometimes you just need to, when you hear the name Dream Again, you just love it
Yeah. Yeah.
because it resonates to the work we are doing in the correctional center, we call it now in Nigeria.
Wow.
So, and coming back to Nigeria in 2013 December, in 2014, I organization fully as a non-profit, because through my training country, I now knew that I was going to run a non-profit.
Okay.
Okay. So even though in between I was saying, if I come back to Nigeria, I'm going to look for a job and forget about my passion. I registered the organization formally in 2014, May 27th. We were not fully in operation, sharing with another organization. So there was a misunderstanding in the organization, and that is how I left. And I got an office and started my work fully. And when we started fully, we had challenges of there was no team members. It was just me going to prison and coming out and documenting my work and all of that. And there were no resources to even do what I was doing, but the energy and the passion keep pushing me. And I was fortunate in between. There's this young Nigeria. I call him young because he's an amazing fellow, architect Ape Harrison at the Force Library. So we lost contact for like 4 years or 5 years. By the time we reconnected back in 2016, so we lost contact for about 4 years. He asked me, "What are you doing now?" I say, I'm still in Benue in Otuko. He said, "Doing what?" I said, "Doing the same thing you knew me doing." And this was the first time a young man who believed in another person's dream would give me money. And he called the money a vote of confidence.
Wow.
And it was not
Wow.
small money.
Wow.
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 And
Wow.
from there, he entered a partnership with Dream Again for the subsequent year to be giving us money each quarter through his organization called Purple Foundation. So every quarter,
Okay.
we were getting funding from them to do our work. And to crown it all, he surprised me one day. He came down all the way from the capital of Nigeria, Abuja, Benue State, which was about 6 hours drive. They shoot a powerful documentary for Dream Again within the prison, which is one of the best
Okay.
resources we have. I did not ask for it. That documentary is on YouTube right now, about 7
Okay.
minutes, 20 seconds. They did that for free without us asking for it.
Wow.
So gradually, we're using Facebook, especially people begin to get to notice what I was doing. Support were coming in from all around the world, from people that I don't know, but because they see the dream, they believe in the dream, they see the passion, they connect to the passion, and then people continue to say, "How can I support? Take this money, do this," and all of that. And that's how we continue to grow and grow and grow the organization. The vision is a simple vision. It is to transform prisons in Nigeria from punitive, which is punishment, to effective correctional facility. Energy are resources that don't help them to utilize this time and energy to add value to themselves. Recidivism will continue to be on the high. So in order for us to curb recidivism, we must help people to discover who they are, not just discover who they are, but discover their potential, develop that potential, and learn how to deploy that potential. The reason why I will not go into crime is because I know who I am. So crime is not an option. The reason why I will not go into thuggery and be manipulated by politicians is because I know who I am. So there's no amount of money you can give to me to sway me from whom I am.
Okay.
So once we answer that question of who I am or who are you, then you can be able to stand against any kind of crime. And that is what
Wow.
we help us in prison to
Wow.
connect with. And some of them are coming out and they're doing well.
Okay. So you go to any of the prisons. How do you get in? These are government institutions. How do you get into, let's say you go to a particular state or a particular region or district and you say that my organization is Dream Again, and what's next?
To be honest, we have to apply to the few prisons we are operating because they are, like you said, government institution, and we are so fortunate because of our track record and some of the things we have done. Access has been given to us to operate in the few prisons we're operating currently. So we don't just walk in and start operating. You have to ask for permission, write an application, be given approval, and a date is given to you that you'll be coming in to do your activities.
Okay. Wow. So when you go in, they call the inmates, they call the people to come and meet you. Well, how does it work? When you go in,
so when we go in, what we do is that we do orientation, sensitization, if you like, sensitization. So because we don't train everybody in prison, it's an informal education, but it has to be based on choice.
Okay.
So in our classes.
So you publish it so others will say, yes, I want to come for this program.
Yes, I want to come. And then we don't take more than 30, 35, 40 in our class because the program run it's a 16 weeks program. So once this set graduates, another set comes in. So once we throw it out through either the officers in charge or their other colleagues throwing it out to the student, those who are interested come to us. They have a form that they will fill and their details are taken. And yeah, that's how we kick started. Okay. So it's based on interest, not for everybody.
All right. And so they apply, and then within those 6 weeks, you said 6 weeks, right?
16 weeks. 16 weeks.
16 weeks. Okay, so within those 16 weeks, you go there. How many? I mean, what are the days interval?
So we go once in a week.
Okay.
We go there once in a week.
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead. I didn't get your last question.
So I was saying that you pick models as a class, so you treat it like a school.
Exactly.
And then you teach them through all those.
Yeah. So we have a curriculum that we're actually trying to overhaul right now. It's a progressive 3-stage curriculum we call Rethink, Reform, and Re-enter.
Okay.
So currently we're working with another organization called Labana, who are wonderful in and they have amazing mindset and concept when it comes to this kind of restorative justice education. So they're working with us to have a new curriculum. So going forward in 2021, Dream Again is going to be embracing a new curriculum with the Labana Institute.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a curriculum.
Wow. So if I'm there and maybe I'm not going to come out soon, do you have any criteria? Maybe those who are coming out at maybe 2 years time, or maybe I'm not coming out at all. Maybe I have life sentence, or maybe 20 years. Who do you take? Do you separate those, or do you segregate?
Like I said, it's based on interest. So it's whether you are serving long term, short term. As long as we are interested, we will give you the opportunity. So for those who are having long term, if you finish from our 16 weeks program, you are supposed to become like a mentor to other people from your cells to the within the prison. You're supposed to become an ambassador. So you could actually start your own little dream again in your own way, even in prison while you're there. Because the idea is that the fact that people are in prison does not mean they don't have something to offer. And that is what we're trying to make them realize, that even in prison, you can do something with your life. You can affect other lives.
Wow. Okay. So take us through the mindset you talk about. What kind of, in the models that you're, I mean, the classes, in the training, what kind of mindset do you give to them?
So the first stage is called rethink. Rethink is basically about self-discovery. It's about self-discovery, where we teach purpose, where we teach public speaking, where we teach civic education, where we teach entrepreneurship in theory, where we teach teamwork. You know, basically it's about knowing who you are as a person. Rethink. The process of rethinking and connecting to your superior self, if there's any word like that. Of connecting to who you are. Then the second stage is called reform. The reform is, so basically the reform is where we get to teach them skill acquisition.
So what kind of skill?
So we used to have some kind of skills that are really, really not so good for me now, because now that we have grown, we're trying to change the skill. We used to have like a cosmetology, you know, cosmetology, where you make Izal, soap, liquid soap, and all of that. We do yogurt production, we do bar soap, we do tie and dye, you know, and tie and dye and all of that. But right now, we have grown, and with the funding we have, we are introducing more better economic viable skills, like programming, graphic design, you know, coding, hopefully, if they allow us. So we are stocking our classroom with systems and putting programs that can help in empowering these people, so that when they come out, they can also say, yes, I can do something with the skill that I learned in prison, not just cosmetology, but right now I can be a graphic artist, I can be a programmer, I can be a coder, or you know, or
so you talk of classroom. So you set an interim classroom in the premise. Is that in the premises?
So what we do, yes. So normally what we do, we get a classroom given to us by the authority, but most times we have to renovate our taste to make it comfortable to our students. If you followed the work I posted recently in one of the correctional facility in Kaduna State, it's a classroom that we set up, and so far we are told that it is the best classroom among the 221 correctional facility in Nigeria, because it has modern facilities. It is more like a mini university within the correctional center. And we're so proud and glad that we are able to do this, set up this place with wonderful chairs, fans, beautiful computers, beautiful coats around the classroom, just to keep the environment, give it an atmosphere of dreaming again. Give it an atmosphere of reflection and self-discovery and all of that.
Wow. So, so you do it for the women, you do it for the men. How you separate them? If you go to any center, for instance, do you bring the men and women? How do you do that, or you do them separately?
Yeah, it has to be separately. Quite unfortunate for us. We have not worked with most women, but going forward, we want to. In the northern part of Nigeria, you have more males in incarceration, with few female. When they come in, they don't even last, some of them, and then they are out. But in Lagos and in Kaduna, there are where we are operating right now, both of these correctional center, there are actually females that we want to start working directly with them, but you can't bring them together. You have to have separate classes for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is my belief. It may be wrong, but maybe apart from murder and rape and some serious crimes, I doubt why Africans. I don't know why we still continue to keep a lot of these young men on little offenses in jail. I really have problem with that. Sometimes, I mean, if somebody goes to steal plantain, why should that person go to jail? Sometimes I have big problem with that. Or somebody goes to maybe just do anything against any official, and except serious crimes, I don't.
Yeah. Hello. Hello. Hi, you're back. Hello. Um, Hello. I guess we'll have to do a second live video. The network is a bit is trying to get back online, and so if you are going to watch this video, just know that the interview is still on, and we're just trying to share together, especially my own journey as a social entrepreneur in Nigeria. So I'm waiting for Obek to come up. Trust that what we have shared will inspire you wherever you are in the part of the world to do something positive. Okay? So I'm still here waiting for Obek.
Okay, right. Sorry. So let's go. Okay, so his stream pause. Give him a minute. All right. So let's go. Bash. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello?
You're
Sorry.
back.
Yes, I'm back. So sorry. So sorry. So let's go.
No.
So please continue.
Yeah, so we were talking about is it the classroom now, or
Yes,
there's a
yes, you
question?
are talking. You said that you built. I remember. That's what I remember. That you built a very nice. You built a very nice.
Yeah, so and this is the model we want to continue within the few correctional center we're going to be working, and we want to set up a template for other people to copy.
Okay.
That the fact that people are in prison does not mean we should dehumanize them, treat them anyhow. We should make the place, more like a university or a school, a learning ground, and that's why we should stop calling them prisoners or inmates. We should call them students.
Yeah. Okay. So how many centers have you done so far? If that is an intelligent question, how many have you done? How many people have come out of the program? what are some of the beautiful things that we need to hear from you, and what are they doing after, having gone through Dream Again, programs?
We just today, one of our students called me, and it's an amazing story. But let me start with this: that we also pay fines. There are some of our partners who want to pay fines to get people. There are some of our partners who want to pay fine. We have to go to University of Polytechnic. About 4 years in prison. The crime of culpable homicide took him to prison, and he came out in 2016 November. And our organization sponsored him to learn organic farming, greenhouse construction. And to be frank with you, he learned that, and he developed his own concept of manufacturing a special organic pesticide. So as I speak to you today, a particular state government is about to go into a contract with him. So that pesticide has been taken to one of the AITA in Ibadan. It's an agricultural institution, so that they can test it in their lab. Once it's okay, the state government in Plateau State, Jos, will enter a contract with this guy from prison, with the opportunity we have given to him to learn this. Today he called me this morning. He has registered his own company. He opened his office today, and then he's doing well. He's married. I was at his wedding last year, and they now have a baby with his wife. And another student of ours again came out of prison last year. He's passionate about education. September 2nd, 2019, after coming out of prison through our education, he discovered that he wanted to do something in the educational space. So when he came out, he started his school called the Great Kids International School in Kogi State. He was so fortunate, he started with 82 students.
82?
And by the third week, he had 167 students.
Wow.
By the third month, thereabout, he had 207 students. As at last 2 months, I spoke with him. He has 394 students.
Wow.
With 15 staff working for him.
Wow.
From prison.
And these are all coming from the mindset that the program is giving, and the skill set the program is giving.
Yeah. Wow. And the other story that I shared with Strive Masiwa was the young guy who came out from prison after 4 years of being accused of stealing somebody's money. So he learned tailoring while in incarceration, and with our help, when he came out, we did not even have the resources to help him buy a new sewing machine. So together with little support from him and us, he bought a fairly used sewing machine and started his fashion design under a tree, because there was no money to rent a shop.
Yes. Okay.
Under a tree, and by the third month, he bought another machine. By the fourth month or thereabout, I was given a brand new machine by my pastor, Uzawadu, to give to him. And by the time I was sharing his story to Dr. Strive Masiwa, the guy has trained about 15 people under him with about 5 sewing machines.
Wow.
But the good news about this guy is that he wants to go back to school. And sometime last year and early this year, he struggled. He wrote the exam last year and he got the admission to the Polytechnic where he's studying business admin. And we're able to send him some money to pay his school fees and all of that.
Wow.
But for the coronavirus, now they have been at home. So once the school are back, he's going to get back to school. So from prison to a fashion designer and now back to school.
Wow. 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 Wash, you are changing lives. You are changing lives. And we thank God for the great works that you are doing, the big heart that you have. There is nothing comes close to giving people hope, empowering people, giving them skills, building their mindset so that they can do it themselves. Nothing comes close to that. Creating hope for people, and that for me. That's what I'm fascinated about with what you're doing and what you're achieving all over in Nigeria. Wow. So if somebody wants to do this, if somebody says that, okay, maybe I want to come in and partner with you, or I want to bring something to help, how do they get to do that with you?
There are different kinds of help and there are different kinds of partner. And at this moment, I want to appreciate all our team members and few people who work with us and volunteers for contributing their own quota in making this dream reality, even impactful. So it's not a bash show, it's our show. So wherever you are in the part of the world, you say you want to partner. For the 16 weeks we talked about, in order to train one student, remember, not inmate, not prisoner, to train one student, it costs us about $100. Yeah, it costs us $100.
Okay.
It costs us $100. So this includes their T-shirts that we give to them. Are you with me?
Yes,
this
I'm with you.
Their T-shirt. It includes the T-shirt we give to them as a way of changing their identity, even while in incarceration. It includes the writing materials we give to them. It includes the certificate we give to them. It includes the skill acquisition they will learn. It also includes the refreshments. In most of our classes, when we meet, we provide a refreshment for our students. Okay. So all of this is in the 38,000 naira, which is about $100. And then it's in our website. Once you check www.dreamagainfoundation.org, you can see how to support financially. But there are people like you who want to donate books, for our library. Everybody must not give money. Everybody must not give money. Those who want to give money can give money. Those who want to give moral support can give moral support. Those who want to give books can give books. And those who want to even connect us to better opportunity to be trained in what we're doing, these are all form of support. Support does not end with money, because So, but those who want to support financially, get to our website www.dreamagainfoundation.org. You will see how to donate, and then you can easily donate.
Tell me about your book. You sent me a copy. This is very fantastic book. So let's talk about it.
The title of the book. Okay, we're going to tell the world now. The title of the book is called Escape from Prison.
Okay.
It's called Escape from Prison, with a writer that says unlock your. Basically, this is about my journey. My struggles, my milestone, the pitch as opportune to give to Dr. Strife Masiwa. It's about, the book is about my story, but not just my story. It's about your story. It's about our story, to be able to set ourselves free from the prisons that people, culture, religion, lack of education or education has put us in, and then we are not able to live. This is what the book, this is the concept behind the book. Can be free. You can be free to live your life. So it has about 7 chapters. I'm still writing the book. I thought I'll release it soon, but I'm waiting for maybe 2022, when Dream Again is going to be 10 years, and we're going to be doing our 4th anniversary. I'm thinking that is when the book will be released, but it's almost ready. You have seen part of it and all of that.
Yes. Yes. Before I come to the book, somebody has a question for you. If you can see it on the screen.
Okay, no. Maybe you can read the question for me.
Okay, so can someone... Okay, so Antonio is asking, can someone sponsor specific students to give support or partner with the student afterwards? Can somebody...
thank you.
Someone...
Yeah, thank you so much, Anthony. So like I said, with $100, which is 38,000 Nigerian naira, you can sponsor 1 student. So if you want to sponsor 1 student, if you want to sponsor 5 students, you do the math, and then you can send us the resources. Yes, you probably are in another part of the world. You might not be able to say, this is the student I want to train. But of course, among our students, we always let them know that somebody sending support for what we are doing. So we have to be accountable to those people.
Okay, I think he was support and partner with students after the program.
Yeah, so after the program, it's also very, very important to partner with the student. Please, and again, I'll say some of them after coming out of prison, they support together. Like the guy that left him.
Okay. Hello, Bash. Right. So it's network, but we'll be fine. Hopefully. So I'm talking to Bash. He's a great man. He's doing a lot in Nigeria. He has an NGO, an organization that's in transform. Yes, I'm here.
I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead, please.
No. I hope I was able to answer Anthony's question. That's just what I was trying to say.
Okay. It was cutting. The voice was not clear. But the last part, I was saying he wanted to know if after.
So since we're clear now, yeah. Afterward, he can partner with a student who come out in whatever trade the student want to learn. He can because we can get their detail, and he can follow up with them to support them, whether individually or through us as an organization. He can always partner with them after they come out from prison. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. So back to your book. So just a brief of some of the topics that you treated in the book.
Yeah. Okay. Are you reading from the book or?
And I'm not reading from the book. I'm just asking. Just give us some tips that you put in the book. I remember very well that you were talking about how to pitch and pitch professionally.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think
a
that's
whole lot of business.
yeah. So the beginning of the book, it's about the introduction on how I met with Dr. Stripe Masiwa in that 1 minute, 58 seconds, and that changed the life of our organization and all of
Mm.
that. Uh, uh, so uh, 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 you, you find chapters like uh, are we all prisoners? That talks about my encounter with Dr. Lagos. Dr. Basically running. So, but in between each chapter, I also find time to talk directly to social change makers and to young business owners. So, like the past, I have witnessed firsthand where a young lady who had passion and a great idea could not present her idea before a prospective partner or investor, and the opportunity would have been lost. But I was able to step in and save the day. So
Mm.
why I was talking about pitching in the book, practically from my experience, is to help young
Yes.
people get themselves prepared and learn how to present their idea in a most polite, respectful, and compelling way that will open more doors for them, not just to get
Mm.
funding financially, but to also get opportunities for mentorship and maybe opportunities for training and all of that. So basically, the book is about preparing for your journey, whether as a business person or as a social entrepreneur. It's my story.
Yeah. It's a great book. It's a great book. I read through. It's a
Yeah.
great book, and thank you for that. Now, if I'm thinking, if I'm somewhere and I have passion to start to become a social entrepreneur, to start an organization, to transform lives and to transform society, what do you think are some of the things that I should have as somebody who wants to get into such area? What are some of the skill sets that you think I should have? What are some of the, some philosophies, some ideas that I should have for me to do that well?
Well, for me, I learned actually practically everything I am doing today, most of them on the job, because I did not know most of the things about social entrepreneurship and all of that. But if I will be able to give any sense of our journeys varies even as social entrepreneur. But most importantly, the first thing you need is the passion to solve a problem.
Mm.
A passion to solve a problem. I don't know if how many people in Nigeria will actually graduate from the university or polytechnic and say they want to work or do a non-profit around the prison. So for me, it's a passion, and you can't be paid for your passion. You can be appreciated for your passion, but you can't be paid for your passion because it's your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and then yeah, very very key. So identify a problem you're passionate about, and
So usually, okay. So give me some examples of the problems you think uh, we should look at. Non like in terms of non-profit. What are some of the problems that you think people should take up, build organizations to run?
problem around all people who are developing.
Sorry, say it again, please. I was saying some of the problems that you think we should be able to build organizations, um, around.
Apps
Give us some of the ideas.
on how to help our social enterprise who are passionate about that area can delve into, because it's about a problem. And once,
please start over again. Start over. Start from the beginning. What you said. We didn't hear that side.
Okay, so I want to mention here that I'll start with the health sector, for instance.
Okay. The health sector.
Social enterprise is about from the sanitation of the health facility, from how patients are treated, the standard of. Do you know why I mentioned health sector? Recently, one of my friend, his wife was pregnant, and they got to the hospital in a particular local government. There was no single incubator. There was no single incubator in the hospital, and the baby died.
Wow.
It's a problem, but it's an opportunity for somebody to look into.
Okay.
What about the educational sector? We talked about us not knowing who we are. So we go to study different courses in school. So people must come up with ideas that can help young people discover who they are, so that they don't waste their time going to study a course that is not relevant to them.
Okay.
So that is an opportunity.
Wow.
That's a big opportunity.
All right.
What about the agri space is a big opportunity.
How do you do that as non-profit? How do you, for instance, the health sector you talk about, how do you do that as a non-profit? How are you able to, set an organization in the health sector to solve a problem without you making any, strictly like profit or?
Okay, so and this is another thing that we need to understand about social enterprise. Yes, a non-profit, but to run a successful social non-profit organization, we need to have a business model.
Okay.
We can't go every now and then asking people to fund our passion. If people voluntarily fund our passion, it's because they want to.
Okay.
So if you look at the problem in the health sector and you want to solve, I have a friend now who they develop they use technology to develop a machine to help, I think, old people to check diabetes, for instance. It might be expensive to go to the hospital, but a social entrepreneur can develop a machine that will help people check it at a cheaper rate. So they are making money, but they are solving a problem.
A problem. All right. Instead of them just making only money.
Exactly.
All right.
So and it's a new narrative that we must bring into our space as business people in Africa and around the world. That it's not about making money, it's about also making impact. And that's why it's a social enterprise.
Wow. Wow. So in terms of the agri sector, you mentioned, you said there are a lot of things in the agri sector where people can set organizations to bring change.
Most farmers don't have access to the market. So for instance, the Benue I mentioned Benue, and I said it's called the food basket of Nigeria. But do you know that when you get to that state, you hardly find packaging you hardly find storage facility for storing the agricultural produce. You hardly find companies that can help. You see our cashew in thousands, mangoes falling on the floor with wasting. This is an opportunity, or these are opportunity that we can maximize. So there's a young guy who is from my state, I think Edo State, that got the Queen's Award. He got the Queen's Award, and he got a lot of funding. You know what he do? He goes to Benue, collects this mango seed, and use them to produce wonderful, nutritious chicken feed.
Okay.
And it's cheap.
Okay. Wow.
so it's the social enterprise open you to an opportunity to serve and make money.
Money as well.
The space.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Now you are a young man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of us are very negative about our countries in Africa. It takes a whole different re-education to be very positive and optimistic about the prospects in Africa. A lot of the times when we have not even traveled anywhere, we may not even know whatever is happening outside except TV and maybe social media. But we still seem to think that here there are a lot of disadvantages here. That's what most people think, and that there are a lot of advantages somewhere. How come you've been able to work on that so well that you believe so much in your country, you believe so much in our people, you believe so much in the continent that you are ready? Somebody is complaining of not getting a job. Somebody is so unhappy with the politicians and everything that is wrong. But you are looking at the solution. How do you tell a young man, somebody who has just completed school, who himself is trying to find something to do, how do you tell him to look at some of these things? What would you tell him or her?
This question is very dear to my heart, because if we can get more young people to believe in themselves, to believe in the opportunities that are trapped in problems around us as Africans, then the politicians will become irrelevant, or the politicians will be
Okay.
forced to do the right thing, because
Right.
there will be no more young people that they can use as dogs, because we are all busy with our life in a positive direction.
Wow.
And the opportunities we're looking for outside were not made possible by angels or spirits. They were made possible by human beings. And
Yeah.
like Dr. David Oyedepo will say, the Vice Chancellor of Covenant University in Nigeria, he said he has made an intensive study of the brain, that the white man brain and the black man brain, they are the same thing.
Okay.
The mind has no color.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, why they build libraries, we are busy building our wardrobes.
Okay.
Why they go for vision, we're busy watching television.
Okay.
So for young people who want to make a difference, you are coming out of school and you are even confused, like I was once confused. First and foremost, you must believe in yourself, and that
Right.
there is no way forward than to start solving a problem around your community. Complaining and blaming the politician and the leader cannot solve the problem. But to get busy about your life in a positive direction, you are going to be contributing something even meaningful than some politician. So
Yes.
the first step is coming to that realization that you have something to offer. I was once complaining. I was once in the complaining camp and blaming people. But how can I use my time and energy, which are precious resources, to be complaining about another person? You know the story about the talent in the scripture? Each person was given a talent, 5, 2, and 1, by the same government, by the same master, if you want. Why
Okay.
the person with 5 went to multiply his own by working hard. The person with 2 talents went to work and multiply his talent. The same master, like I said, the same government, if you want. The person with 1 talent refused to do something with his own talent.
Yep.
And blame it on his master. But the mystery about this story is that, Obek, we must know that to each man, it is given according to his or her ability.
Okay.
So everyone has something to offer. But people don't know that they have something to offer. And it's a mentality that has kept Africa backward.
Okay.
Thinking that we need the IMF to survive. thinking that we need the World Bank to survive.
To survive. All right.
The truth is that Africa, if we can look inward and start solving problems that are around us, then we will start living a fulfilled life. There were times that I did not have money, but I was still living my dream. There were times I couldn't buy a sachet water with my wife, 100 naira, less than $0.25, but we were still living our dream.
And you
so
didn't,
we are not saying that there will not
and
be.
you didn't complain. You were not sad.
I'm telling you the truth. I went through that without complaining. Did you know that when I went to Malaysia for the first time, as I was getting to my room, I was willing and ready to get back to the village I was working in Nigeria?
And some people will never have gone back.
Well, we have a lot of them. And I'm not saying there are some people who need to be abroad and do their stuff. Yeah, some of us need to continue to do what we're doing in Africa, in Nigeria. Of course, I travel and I want to still travel to learn, to grow, and become better in doing what I'm doing. I'm not saying people shouldn't travel, but when your heart is connected to something or somewhere, and you understand time and purpose and season, you want to get back to work. So, and we must embrace hard work.
All right.
Of course, when I talk about work, I also mean smart work. We must stop being lazy as young people. I have carried bricks in my head. Oh, you saw me on my Facebook. I was selling Irish potatoes.
Okay.
So, I mean, why will somebody, when you say there are no jobs, it's an insult on your creator.
Okay. Because there are so many things you can do.
Because there are so many things. We must embrace the dignity in labor.
Okay. What do you mean by we should stop being lazy? The graduates should stop being lazy. What is that?
So in the book where I'm talking about, there are people whose education is their limitation. Because they are graduate, they feel they cannot do menial jobs.
All right.
But there are no menial jobs. There are only menial minds.
Okay. That's a strong statement.
Yes, there are no menial jobs. There are only menial minds.
Okay.
So lazing about is waiting to work in an oil company. The entitlement mentality of looking forward to work in a big company without doing something with your life where you are.
Wow.
Waiting for a perfect condition before you do what you want to do.
Wow. But what did your family say when you decided to go this path? Your mother?
Well, my father passed away. So he was not alive when I took this direction. And my mother, I remember in 2013, 14, when I was talking about marriage, they were always saying that go get a job. And for me, I don't understand what does it mean to get a job? When you have found a purpose, when you have found purpose, you have gotten a job already.
That's right.
So I had the privilege that there were not too much of pressure from my parents because they didn't even understand. I've left home. I decided to leave my family home and stay somewhere else, squatting with somebody. So there was not too much pressure. Go look for a job or do this. I was busy going with my passion, with my faith, and all of that. So there were not too much pressure from my family.
From the family. How about your friends?
There was a time in 2015. My friends actually make me to apply for a job, so I almost left my passion because they said I got married in 2015.
Yes.
So my friends said that now that you're married, how are you going to take care of your family, your wife, and all of that? And so in thinking through about it, I decided to look for a job and I applied. And I tell you the truth, I was offered that job. I want to pick it, and I was pulling back. I want to pick the job, I was pulling back. And today I'm so grateful I did not pick that job.
Wow.
Probably I would have lost my call and
Mhm.
get fixed in a place where I'm trapped, you know, like I'm talking about escaping from prison. I would just get myself trapped in a prison where I'm supposed to be doing something in prison, enjoying my freedom, impacting life, and all of that. So
Wow.
I actually I escaped that from my friends, and at the
Mm.
end of the day, when most of them started seeing the result, started seeing my encounter with people like Strive Mercy and all of that,
Now they
wow.
now they now they want to take pictures with you.
Exactly, OOD, and all of, but it's not been easy. Imagine if I've picked that job, I will be paid maybe $100 or $150. I mean, it's not about. We must understand this, that it's not why money is extremely important. It is not about money.
Okay.
Money is extremely important. It is not about money. And when we give value, to be honest, there is no how we cannot get money.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Those are strong statements. So so somebody wants to go through this to set up a similar, because for me, what you say, when you are, let's say you're a graduate, you have completed school, you have done the national service,
Mm-hmm.
there are so many opportunities as you have just put them, where you would want to do something with sense of purpose,
Mm-hmm.
having a meaning in terms of life. Yeah, and there are so
Mm-hmm.
many problems that we all can see. You talk about the mindset. A lot of us, our mind is being set such that we just have to take for ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
even though we see so many problems, we're still looking for jobs. Why? Because we're still thinking of, let me get something to feed. But what you opted for is to solve, go to work to change lives and change destinies. And that one, there is no permission. You don't need any application to do that. The
Mm-hmm.
examples that you gave, in the agri sector, in the health sector, in the education sector, in any other sector, every one of us can do something like that and become prominent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you opted for. So sometimes when the graduates are talking and they are saying that there are no opportunities, it's because of the mind, as you have just put it. It's because the mind is
Yeah.
blocked, so they can't see. Because look at the people that you have access to. Look at the
Mm-hmm.
people that you stand before.
Probably my education wouldn't have given me access to such people.
No, no, no. And because you took that which was in your heart, you know. And I think that's what a lot of people would have to look at, especially Africans, and the fact that you have belief in the country that you believe in the country, and you want to solve problems. And for me, that is where the opportunity is. No matter what anybody says, if you move and you move only for your self interest, eventually you lose everything.
Yeah.
But if you move to solve something for all of us, it will be tough. Nobody is saying it won't be tough. You would
That's
want to give
exactly.
up. There will be a lot of disagreements, not only from people, but with yourself. But
Yeah.
you will keep going. And by all means, it works. It does. It always works if you stay with the processes. Wow, 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 wow. So, what are some of the normal things? I want to set up an organization in Nigeria to handle education, non-profit. What are some of the processes that I would have to go through? And what are some of the impediments?
So to be honest, our government have made some things very recently make some things very easy in terms
Mhm.
of trying to set up organization.
Mm.
So before you have to go through lawyers.
Mhm.
To pay them huge sum of money before you can get your organization paid. We were not doing
Mm.
online Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, so like I said, the government have there is a new law in Nigeria. It's called KAMA, Company Alias Matters Act, that has made registration of organizations, whether profit or for profit, very easy. There were times that before you register an organization in Nigeria, you have to go through a lawyer, and it's
Yes, I saw that.
it's always very discouraging because these lawyers are going to charge you huge amount of money and all of but right now the government
has taken that out.
Making it so easy. So I'm I'm talking about Nigeria, right? In a way that bottleneck. So before you need about 2 to 3, 4, 5 board of directors. Right now, you can actually see it.
So now it's very. So now it's easy.
Good to go.
So now it's easier to
get me the non-profit and all of that.
Okay.
Yes. So I cannot say as so challenges. Challenges because it's a brand.
Wow. So now it's a bit easier.
Yeah, it's very easy now
Okay.
to register an
An NGO. Okay.
organization.
Okay. For non-profit. Wow. Okay. So let's try to wrap up. We have taken enough of your time. We have taken enough of your time, Bash. The network has not helped us that much.
Yeah, so
But
yeah. So
yes. So we have taken enough of your time. And we appreciate that. And so you said that it's easier to register a business in Nigeria if you're going to go into far easier now, isn't it?
Yeah, far easier now. Far easier.
Yeah. Well, but what would you tell somebody who's living somewhere, a Nigerian particularly, to come to Nigeria and do something like this? Why should they?
Because the opportunity are so enormous.
Okay.
The problem we have are the opportunities, and the opportunities are in the problem. Okay. So you can do it wherever you want, but I mean, coming to Nigeria or Africa where you belong, it's just give you a sense of kind of beauty and fulfillment that you're doing something for your people. I mean, you can touch people all around the world. We're all humans.
That's right.
Irrespective of our race, religion, and whatever it is. But we all are from somewhere, just like we are all from a family, we are from a country and a community. Yeah. So it's a beautiful thing that I'm going back to my community to do something.
Fantastic.
And not just something negative, but something positive, impactful that can touch lives.
Wow.
So come and do something positive.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I think we need millions of us. Even if you have for-profit organizations, every one of us must do something to change lives, and in any sector, with whatever that we know. Whatever that we know, we can teach somebody. We can create an opportunity for somebody. We can put some ideas somewhere that people always benefit. And if every one of us, maybe we're doing this, we will have a lot of our problems reduced, with government or without government. Because the lives that you have changed them forever. And the next generation from a lot of these students will not repeat what they it's so highly that they will not repeat what their parents may have done, just because somebody like you took it upon yourself to bring light and freedom to people. So for me, every one of us must look at that, because we all see the pain that people go through. We all see. So maybe you wrap up for us the things that you want us to pick.
Well, I want to say thank you so much, Obeg, for this opportunity, and thank you for also what you're doing. Again, thank you for the contribution that you give to us in your books, to our libraries, in prisons. As we round up this session, I just want to say that whatever prison is holding us bound, we have the responsibility not to put the blame on somebody, whether our parents, whether our government. We have to liberate ourselves. We have to give our best to wherever we find ourselves, our community, to people. We have to, like Gandhi would say, be the change we want to see.
Wow.
That is how I'll round it.
Wow. So thank you, Bash. Thank you very much. So thank you. Thank you. So thank you very much.
Blessings.
All right.